Okay, we're back. Welcome back, everybody. I'm in the wrong chat. There we go. I gotta do this the right way. I have to be a responsible streamer so that I can see the chat. Okay. And now I can't see my Discord. My, ho-hum. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. It is Wednesday. It is the last day of July, which means my video is supposed to come out tomorrow, and I've barely started. So we'll see what happens. Cannon, how are you today? Let me know how the audio is. I'm trying some new stuff. I'm trying to get things out of my way so I can facilitate the child. Which I tried streaming today, and as soon as I was about ready to stream, he's just like, food time! It's like, well, that sucks. We've trained the kid to eat at exactly 11 o'clock, so I'll have to figure that out.
Well, you managed to get the orange cat to adjust his time.
That's true.
You might want to zoom out a little bit.
Yep. Yep, everything is weird right now. Moniker, welcome in. It's gonna be one of them days. But that's okay. All days are like that. I feel like if I ever make like a rugby plushie, it's gotta be one of those little toys that you squeeze and the eyes pop out.
Yeah. And the ears also like stand up straight.
Wait. Wait. Got a little tongue. Smoosh. Blech. Dun, 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 dun. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Oh, a spine. I had some things I wanted to talk about today, and I don't remember what they were. We don't have that many suggestions today, so we might actually get through quite a few, which would be pretty awesome. But we'll see. I need to remember how to draw first. That's the first part of this thing.
Yeah, I was about to say something similar. Just I'm struggling.
Two artists learn how to draw.
In real time. I caught a little bit of Steve Sketch's stream on Twitch yesterday, and was just once again reminded about how phenomenal his rendering skill is. How quickly he can build up shape and form, just a couple pencil strokes.
That is something that I've been struggling with lately, because I've been trying to... The last thing I drew, I posted in chat. It was the rock elemental. And I was really trying to make the rocks feel like have shape without just making them blocky. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it was like, man, line
it's
art.
really hard to do with line art.
Yeah. Like it's a lot in just the shading of it, but as well as like looking at line thickness and all that kind of stuff. Just like trying to make rocks are weird because they are hard body, but they're organic shapes. Because like if you want to make a cube, like you can just make a cube, right? Like that's not that's not a problem. But like all of a sudden it's like, what if this cube is missing, this corner? You're like, oh shit. And also maybe it's a little wobbly on this side. things start falling apart, and you're like, oh god, what am I doing? But that's really how you have to look at stuff. Truly a challenge for both, yeah, exactly. So that's in the Discord. If people haven't seen that yet, they're welcome to go check that out.
It looks phenomenal.
Hello.
Welcome
Hey.
in.
How's everyone?
Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. I've had a surprisingly chill morning. I told Rook, and like anybody else tell me if you've been getting these shorts as well, but my feed is full of shorts from a band called Pamplemousse, and like it's just a bunch of like them riffing and having jam sessions, and I have no idea what genre their music is. I know that the
Oh, did you
singer
not listen to the
does-
band beforehand?
no.
Okay, you should go listen
This
to
is
the
why
music.
it's totally out of left field, right? Because I don't really listen to music, especially like contemporary music. I'll listen to a video game or a movie soundtrack every once in a while, but that's pretty much it.
That's one of my problems. Is like a lot of the music I listen to is like YouTube centric or video game based. It's like there's not a good way of like finding more of similar music without just digging YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
But I also listen to like, so a lot of the music I listen to that's more I was gonna say popular, but more mainstream, I guess, is I get through like Pandora or Spotify, whereas like they'll have a playlist and they'll just like, hey, listen to these guys because you like them. It's like, yeah, cool. So
Yeah. Anyway,
YouTube
I
doesn't
only
have
bring it up because they've super chilled out my mood because they're just such a good vibe all the time. Yeah, I really appreciate it. There's like the one of two creators on YouTube Shorts that I've ever been super happy that I found their content.
Gotcha.
It is just super weird that they randomly showed up though.
Yeah. Do ba do 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Let's think about this. So, with next week, Jumper will be going back to work, and I will be caretaker for the hours in
The
which I
boy.
normally stream. Yeah.
Yep.
So the first few streams are probably going to be just horseshit. I'll be trying to figure them out. But beyond that, once we kind of get a rhythm for it, I put up a poll and let people talk about it, and it seems like people want to see me work on like commissions and bigger projects than just doing sketches. So I think what we'll probably be doing is I will start the stream and make sure everything's going good, and then put up a poll to see what people want us to work on that day. So if you are a regular of the stream, it might benefit making sure you're here at the start. Which if you can't be, that's fine, but that's probably what we're going to do. Or if that doesn't work, we might start putting the poll up in the community post. And then that will dictate what we do that week. But I will have a few little projects I want to work on. So I want to work on some new avatars. I want to work on some emotes. I want to work on some game stuff that I want to work on, as well as like some magic cards, some like little token things. Just as like this. So I have a bunch of little projects that people can kind of interact with. And then that way, hopefully I can start sending stuff out to the Patreon more frequently. Now that we're not really doing the Why You Should Play videos as much. The last few I've posted just have not done well. And I don't know if that's because of people's interests or because of the things I'm picking or what. But so I'm not sure. I have one more coming out. Like I said, I'm working on it right now. And we'll see how it does. And we'll decide if that's worth the time. Because the time is kind of the thing that I'm struggling with right now. So whether or not those go on hiatus or we change the format of them a little bit or what, we'll figure that out. But I like doing those little kind of like long form videos. It's just a matter of what we want to do with them moving forward. Because some people have wanted like class videos, some people want lore videos, and I'm like, yeah, those already exist. So we'll see. Projects are fun. Yeah, exactly. So we're not going away. We just got to kind of figure out what we're doing. Because we're kind of stuck in a little rut right now where it's just the live streams and the shorts. And I want to start doing something that's a little bigger than that. So we'll go from there. Yeah. So that's the update for the channel itself. I think I'm good to start drawing. For those of you that don't know how this works, I have all the suggestions on a list. I'm going to roll some dice, which I've put my dice away because they were in the way. That's not good. The only dice I have are an unopened bag of dice, which is not what I want. Where did I put those? There should be a whole box of dice. Hold on.
You call yourself a dice goblin. How could you lose the clicky clack math rock?
Apparently they got put behind my speaker. I don't know when that happened. Oh, it's because I had to pull my desk out away from the wall. Because I had to route the back side of my desk so it was smooth enough that I could pull my keyboard cable. Like it feels excessive, but like it was worth it. It was worth it. And in doing so, I buried a bunch of my shit. So.
As long as it was useful.
Boom, 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 boom. Okie dokie. More bugs. More bugs. Okay, I rolled too high.
Always more bugs.
High Elf Void Elementalist using a Dusty Tome. How very specific. Void Elves are a thing, right? But this is a High Elf.
I think void elves are a thing in Pathfinder.
That might be the case. They might be.
If we're talking about D&D, I don't think they have those officially.
Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Okay. I was just saying, in 1E, there was a void element for kineticists, which was like gravity and like negative energy.
Okay.
So.
Because I thought, there's Void Elves in Starfinder too, I think, right? Maybe not.
I think you're thinking of WoW.
No, I mean, yes, there are Void Elves in WoW. What are the Space Elves called in Starfinder?
I think they're just elves.
Is this homebrew? It's homebrew. Yep, you're right. You're right.
I don't think there's void elves. They would just be like a type of elf.
Astral Elves is what they're called. Astral Elves. Native to the astral plane. That's what I was thinking of. Kind of spacey.
Kind of. Also, kind of basically the Githyanki.
A little bit, yeah. There's a little bit of existentialism I can hit on if people don't mind. The Gith are like the thing that rebelled against the Mind Flayers, but that infers that there are a lot of things that didn't.
Yeah.
Like, how many races got completely wiped out by Mind Flayers? And what were they? I want to know. Yeah, it's exactly. Just Dark Jack from Jack and Daxter. That's perfect. That was, man, Jack and Daxter was fun. Old school platformy shenanigans.
Is that the game with the dog and the rabbit?
No.
No? Okay.
That's Sam and Max. Jack and Daxter is a tiny elf man and his ferret, I think. I don't remember what Daxter was.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody knew?
No,
That's the
yeah.
joke? Okay. The joke is that nobody knew what he was.
I am not familiar with that game at all.
Oh man, they're fun. They are it does very much go back to like the Crash Bandicoot.
It's a Naughty Dog game.
Is a Naughty Dog game? Okay. That makes sense then. Dun, dun, dun. I'm just thinking. Yeah. I already read that. Okay. Void, high elf. Okay, high elf. Do the high elf first. That's the thing. This pen might be a little too big for how small I'm drawing. Let's just make it bigger. Let's just go bigger. No one says I can't go bigger. Oh my, kid. You gave the elf rugby ears? I did. I like giving my elves just unnecessarily long ears as a personal choice. Because short pointy ears are for Vulcans and half-elves. I like my fantasy very pointy.
I like my fantasy like Jessica Rabbit, full of curves.
Sure.
In terms of elves, I think I do a very wide range of ear length.
Yeah.
But I usually reserve the absurd sizes to goblins and gnomes.
I mean, the thing about goblins, I like to think that once again they are kind of like all related. So goblins have the elf ears, but they're small, but the ears are the same size as they would normally be.
Yeah, I can see that.
Elemental kineticist.
Yeah, it was just showing. At least towards the bottom, they have void, which I guess I thought maybe would help you get an idea of what to show void element as.
I assume it's just like dark gravity crap, right?
It's like gravity blast, negative blast, basic kinesis. That's the word they decided to use.
All right.
You can also apparently animate the dead with it.
Okay. Is necrotic energy
'Cause it's
gravity energy?
Well, it's Pathfinder, so they use negative energy instead of necrotic energy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that then combines like antimatter with unlife. Or are you just controlling them with gravity?
It's all dark energy, baby. Nobody knows what the shit it does.
there's
so
some
it's-
there's some interesting implications that arise from that.
This is what it says. Like ether, void forms when elemental energy meets another material. In this case, the substance of the negative energy plane. Void kinesis command the strange forces in a way that, in some respects, resembles the manipulation of ether.
So it's just energy. It is just energy in general.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, everything is energy.
Yeah.
But so just but a slightly different magic source,
Yeah.
but does something similar or can be used to do similar stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. That's kind of neat. It's not tainted or like unsacrimonious. It's just like a reinvigoration of energy to a object, I guess.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like one of their things is called corpse puppet.
Corpse puppet. Oh god.
Yep. Singularity, though I think that was removed from Pathfinder Society, probably because it was too
Yeah.
much.
I open a singularity underneath the goblin. Reality tears, I guess.
Yep.
Cool. Everything on the planet gets spaghettified, and the world ends. Congratulations.
If you guys,
Probably why they removed it.
yeah. Have you guys seen the newest season of Loki?
No.
It was pretty good.
I didn't know it even got a new season.
Well, season 2, so it came out a while ago.
Didn't watch the first one, so.
Is that the one where in trailers I saw him like warping or like getting warped and like popped around through time and space?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. it was good.
The trailers were very funny.
What are you doing, kid?
I was in chaos.
Okay. Gassy boy. Very determined. Yeah, I guess people
don't-
can probably hear him.
I can't on the Discord.
Oh, okay.
Maybe in
That's why it was banned, because so many goblins were mucking up the gears of the universe. Not that you're ripping holes in fabric of space-time. It's what happens to the goblins after they get sucked in. Hold on a minute. You gotta stop
on,
mucking
damn it.
around with time. Sorry, Corvus. What was that?
I said, hold on a minute. That's all I said.
Where did the... There's a really old movie with Ben Stiller and Jack Black called Envy. And it's really funny. It's got Christopher Walken in it, too. I highly suggest people watch it. The premise, though, is Jack Black pays this guy to invent a product that makes dog poo disappear. You just spray it, and the dog poo disappears. And his best friend is the other person I just said, Ben Stiller. And he's like, hey, you want to go in on this investment with me? He's like, no, that's weird. Like, where does the dog poo go? And they're like, whatever. And so he doesn't go in on it, and the guy becomes a million, like just stupid rich, right? Stupid rich, and he's envy, green with envy the whole movie. And it's a really fun movie. It's really cute. But the whole premise and issue that like keeps going along and keeps getting kicked down the road is, where does it go? Where does the poo go? And it's really, really funny how it all falls apart. But like, I love that idea of giving your players something that is like seems unnecessarily powerful, and the ramifications of using it are not seen for a very long time. Whether or not the goblins are just vanishing and like collecting somewhere, or
That reminds me of this one short I saw about like a cursed item, and it's like basically negates all damage, but it doesn't get rid of the damage. It stores the damage in a pocket.
I did.
Yeah,
And
I
when
saw that
the
too.
person takes stuff and just diddy gone.
It's just like, I think that was a Reddit post read, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like stored in a ring, and then the city exploded. I think that was great. I think that's what you said. You cut out there at the end, but I think that's what you were talking about. Yeah, that could be really fun. I could make an item like that. I think I would change it slightly, because like something that just negates damage is like way too good to be true, right? Like that seems like people would not trust it. But if it was
your
something...
your table and my table might not.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think I would make it like give you flat damage resistance, or possibly like you choose when to negate the damage and then apply the damage somewhere else. I also like maybe that not being a cursed item. The cursed item aspect of it is really funny, because like someone could put on a ring and then just never take it off ever, right? Like if you have a ring that negates damage, why would you ever take that off? Like it just doesn't make sense for you to ever take it off. Unless they're like trying to hand it off to somebody
Give
else.
other really cool items out where people are like, I kind of want this now.
Joke's on you, you explode.
Yep.
I've been tricked.
Witchcraft. Sorry. That may be a series of shorts that only I know about. Goes to the New England pilgrim boy haunts a house.
New England what are you talking about? Now I'm curious.
There is a series of, I think they're probably TikToks, but I see them on Instagram. And it's Bartholomew, the ghost of a Puritan boy who haunts this New England house.
Okay. Is it live
Probably
action or is it a cartoon?
And every convenient he pops up, it's just a skit. It's
Okay.
like
It's
a skit
people.
this guy does.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like real people. And so the same guy just pops up in like a pilgrim outfit and says, that box blows out cold air. Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. I don't like the future.
Well, he'd be in good company with H.P. Lovecraft, wouldn't he?
Right. Lovecraft wrote about a lot of stuff. I mean, besides the racism, we have to bypass.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He wrote about a lot of stuff that like he adamantly hated. Like just like
Air conditioning.
Yeah.
Air conditioning. The whole like colors never before seen by man and how they're horrible. Like all of that is him learning about the spectrum of electromagnetism and the fact that there are wavelengths of light that humans cannot see with the naked eye. And him fear-mongering about that.
We have to destroy everything.
This is what you get when you only have a barely an elementary schooler's understanding of math and science.
I was gonna say a third grade
It was
education.
homeschool people.
Oh man, I've been my like bedtime guilty pleasure, like the thing I do before bed, is watch math videos. And I don't know why. YouTube only sends them to me on my phone after like 11 o'clock at night. I'll lay down in bed and it'll just be like, do you know how to solve this?
Oh my god.
It's like
Weird.
It's like, do I? Maybe. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. And then I'll watch it for like an hour.
Let's find out.
So it's just like Math Olympics, I guess, I think is the thing that keeps popping up. It's like, here's some questions from the last Math Olympics. It's like, oh, yeah, let's do that.
YouTube does that to me as well, but it's not like it's not the same math. It's usually geometry
Interesting.
and showing cool tricks that can be done with geometry. A lot of sacred geometry, I think, probably because I like playing with counting sequences.
Gotcha.
Nerd.
Calculus. The Pooh does a Family Guy. The Pooh does a Family Guy and goes to another universe.
The dog poo.
Gotcha. Sorry if I just read that moniker.
Yeah.
It's actually way funnier. It's way funnier. That's an old movie. I have no idea how it played out when it was out, but considering it had Jack Black in it, I can't imagine it did very well. He was in a lot of movies that were kind of mid.
Yeah.
But it had Ben Stiller in it too. So but that was before Ben Stiller was like in everything. So
Well, yeah, it was. I have to assume it was also before Jack Black was a household name.
Correct. Yeah. Christopher Walken was in it in his heyday.
Before he was paralyzed quadriplegic.
What? Christopher Walken?
Christopher-
No. You're thinking of
No,
Christopher
I'm
Reeves.
sorry. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of Christopher
You're
Reeves.
thinking of Christopher Reeves. I'm like, what?
You're thinking of Superman.
Yeah.
Yep. Wrong Christopher. Sorry. There were a couple.
My
There were a
favorite.
couple Christophers that
My
were there.
favorite. Well, Christopher Walken things is like, put your hands up. I don't want to, but I have a gun. I don't care. That's one of my favorite. The other one is the Simpsons renditions of him reading Goodnight Moon, and it's really funny. Like, that's my favorite, which is sad because I don't think he actually voiced it, but he might have. Children, why are you scooching away? Enough with the scooching. Because they're all scared of him.
I love seeing people using that scene, or just like
Yeah.
as like response to things. It's just like, I just don't want to. Leave me alone.
Put your hands up. No. No. What do you mean no? I don't want to.
It's like I used to see it a lot when like the whole D&D Pathfinder discourse was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's toned down a lot, but it's like, you should play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It's like, no, but it has all these crunchy rules, and it's like, I don't care.
I don't care. So?
It's like, yes, me.
I think the D&D backlash has calmed down
Yeah.
because
yeah.
D&D Shorts posted a thing this morning of like, I went back to D&D, and it's like, god damn it, like
You never left.
we never
'cause
left.
Well, that's fine. People can play what they want to play. I'm not going to give WotC another dime of my money.
Did you ever?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
Yes, a little. They got about $60 of my money.
Okay.
I just
Or
bought
5e.
the as much as I shit all over WotC and like the Magic the Gathering stuff. Like I just bought the new Squirrel deck because all of my friends were like, "We want to play Commander," and I'm like, "I'm not building a Commander deck," and they're like, "A Squirrel Commander deck?" And it's like, fine, I'll buy that. So I bought it, and I don't want to tell you who I bought it from because I got it 2 days ago, but it doesn't come out for another 5 days. And I was like, uh-oh. Like, I don't think you were supposed to mail this yet. I could be lying, so don't come after me. Don't send the Pinkertons after me, Watsy. I'm not going to show it off or try to sell it or anything, I promise. But
and you're not going to give away your source.
Yeah, I'm not going to give away my source, but
I'll do a quick Googling here.
that kind of shit happens all the time. Because, like, I remember when I worked at Game Crazy, which is like a GameStop, old school GameStop. When Halo 2 came out. And so, like, the week before Halo 2 came out, we got, like, 2,000 copies of the game. And I was a Halo kid. Like, that was all I played. And I was just like, I want to steal one. Like, can I take one home? And they're like, no, you cannot. You cannot take this home. You cannot put this in an Xbox. You cannot open the box. We will all be sued. And I was like, but I want to.
You're in the green light now.
Now? Okay.
Yeah, because yesterday was its full release.
Okay, so I'm betting what happened is they sent it out so it would ship over the weekend and come yesterday, and I just happened to get it because I live so close that I just happened to get it a day earlier.
I was gonna say, like, if you pre-order it, then like I think they definitely would like send it out like a day early.
That makes sense.
So
I haven't opened it yet, but I should. I need to make squirrel tokens. That's one of my my mini projects. Is I want to make.
You should do what all the Pokemon card Twitch people do and like open them on stream.
I could do that. I could do a
late night Twitch stream.
Yeah. The biggest problem with that is most of the time when I open Magic cards, I'll open it up and I'll look at the first card and be like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And then I'll see something and be like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is so much bullshit, stupid, and then I'll just get really mad at it. And then I'll look at the next card and be like, yeah, that's all right. I get very opinionated about stuff. I got a picture of the boy. I handed him a Magic card, and he grabs it, just looks at it, and looks like really upset about it. And I was like, yes, he knows. He understands the bullshit of Magic the Gathering. I had a dream that I was in some country that foreign, and they spoke a language that wasn't American. Creepy. Okay, sorry to hear that. Why would that be creepy? Wouldn't it make sense to be in a different place? Is the creepy part that they weren't speaking English, or that you woke up there? What kind of hair would an elf have? An astral elf. I feel, if they're doing gravity stuff, would they tie their hair in like a bun, or would they let it be flowy?
I think they would let it be flowy.
You sinking?
The child cannot yet sit up, but he wants to so bad, and so he'll sit up, and then slowly he'll sit up in the way the babies sit up, which is just like whop whop,
Yep.
and then he'll slowly sink, and then get very upset because he's like, I'm trapped, and he just can't, and so I gotta every 5 minutes sit him back up. It's like an egg timer. Oh yeah, that's one of the squirrels. They're squirrel necromancers, which kind of piss me off, which I might remove the black component of the deck and just make it a full green deck.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Better? Okay.
Here's your elephant.
All right, I'm ready to roll for my first prompt.
Go for it.
Natural one. A skinny human artificer cowboy wielding a revolver and wearing a cowboy hat and a fine mustache.
Nice.
Human artificer, cowboy revolver, cowboy hat, fine mustaches. Okay.
Is that in the deck? Lumra Bellower of the Woods. Elemental Bear is pretty great. I might have to put that in the bear deck. Equal to the number of lands you control. Okay, that makes sense. It's a green elemental. Mill 4 cards and return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Wait, what? Holy shit. That is terrifying.
Woof.
Chat as a subscriber?
Are you okay, Last Bean Bender?
I'm a little confused.
Your text is reading like bad chat GPT prompt.
I'm kind of wondering if something you wrote got censored. Because I feel like something is missing there. Okay, we said flowy hair, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm real. I am a real person. That
I not robot.
that broke me when I heard that soundbite for the first time. Because it's like, is that a real person? Oh God! And I had to find the source, and it's still up for debate. Are you a robot? I am real. You alright, kid? What's happening?
There's that dinosaur baby in the background.
Yep.
I'm
Very happy dinosaur baby. But he has tipped over. Blah, 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 blah. Can you chirp? Can you chirp for people?
Hey,
No.
kiddo.
Oh! Donked me right in the face. You okay? Yeah, that was a good head bunk. He gives me a look like, how dare you? How dare you let me hit you in the face with my head? Sit. You gotta sit. There you go. Hope you sat on your elephant.
Don't eat the dead cat.
Don't eat the dead cat?
Isn't that what the furry thing that covers a microphone is called?
Oh, yeah. Bless you.
I don't know if you actually have one, but I can imagine every single baby that I know, like, getting put up next to a microphone with one of those on and then just, like, burying their face in it and, like, trying to swallow the whole thing.
Yeah. Drowned in the moonlight, strangled by my own bra. Oh, yeah. Space would keep their hair on lockdown, astronaut style. That is like, it's the two schools of thought. Of how in control are you of the thing that is surrounding you. So, like,
Yeah.
if you
If you can control it and it looks badass, then there's no reason to tie it up.
like, if your level of control of air and or gravity allow you to keep the hair out of your face, then you don't need to put it out. But if you have no control over it and gravity is just like affected around you, yeah, tie it up. Abba gobble wobble wobble. What's up? Yeah. Yeah. Sticking your tongue out at me? That's not polite. It's cute. It's not polite. You're sinking. You're slipping. He's got like a stuffed owlbear that he just like chewed on this morning, which was really funny until I picked it up and it was just like soaking wet. I was like, come on. I have to watch everything now forever. Dang it! I muted myself. I was making funny porn jokes and no one got them. Oh well.
Aw, my favorite kind of joke.
Yeah. That's why I was so weirded out that nobody said anything. I was like, I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was kind of funny. Corvus said probably get kicked off. You getting kicked off the computer or like kicked off Discord because your internet's poop?
Hello?
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 Yeah, I just keep basically not fully being disconnected from Discord, but just like Wi-Fi just kind of kicks down to where I just can't hear anyone talk anymore.
Interesting.
Not like volume-wise, it just like
Gurgle, gurgle.
there's still sound coming through and everything is just like trying to stay connected and not fully being connected, so.
Bapa deepa dappa deepa dee bapa. Well, if you disappear, that's okay. You're also welcome to just see if it
Oh
passes.
gee, thanks.
I mean, we're not gonna be upset if you have to go. Like that's fine. So don't feel bad. It sucks, but don't feel bad about it. What do you want me to say? Eat the rich.
Nothing. I mean, yes, always.
Comcast has spurned us for the last time.
So we didn't have Comcast.
Rise up against Comcast. Rise up, my friends.
And
Send
Time
them
Warner
dirty
Cable.
letters demanding better service.
Demand that they actually provide the service that you pay for.
I was kind of hoping that here's my stance on politics right now. The only way shit's gonna get done is if the other side of the aisle threatens to do something. So, like, that's kind of what happened with student loans. Like, no one was doing shit about student loans until Trump was like, I'm gonna get rid of student loans. Then everyone's like, no, we're gonna get rid of student loans. And it's like, that's how we have to do it. So if we can convince somebody who's just a super spectacle political idiot to trash all over Time Warner, maybe we can actually get some good internet. You alright, kid? How did you flip around like that?
Hello?
Hello?
Okay. So apparently, Doomplane has been slowly updating the new stuff today
Nice.
for all the new player core stuff.
I have still never used Demiplane. Is Demiplane good?
I just use it as a resource. I don't use Character Creator or anything on it. I hate the
Yeah.
Character Creator.
Okay, that's kind of where I was at too when I was at it.
It's very slow.
It's fine. I prefer to use Archives of Nethys, but Demiplane gets the stuff updated more quickly generally.
Because there's like, it's an actual like company and not like a single guy updating
Yeah.
it himself.
Yeah.
his Demiplane is a company, but like the archive is open source, right? Like Wikipedia, or is it? Or is
It's one guy
okay.
No, yeah, it's
who
What-
updates it. Maybe like there's a few other people that help like run it, but it's really just run by like one guy who does it as a side project.
yeah, it's one person's passion project.
Yeah.
I do think that they've got a Patreon, right? So they're not doing it entirely for free, but
Yeah.
it is still just one person.
Because I think there's some programmers who are like running or help like keeping the other sites up to date. Not up to date, but like just keep them functioning. Like the Starfinder and the Pathfinder 1E stuff.
Yeah.
because they still get occasional updates just to like keep everything running still.
Oh, my spine! I'm getting old. I'm getting creaky. This hair is too
Riverside-
floof.
Too floofy.
Too floof.
It kind of looks like it's going to have snake hair.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was going for with it being floaty. But hair's hard. Hair's tough. He doesn't read YouTube chat, so I'm going to say... You can be however you want. And yeah, Beanbender, I won't always read all of your chat. Like if it's something that's not directed to the conversation, I might just not read it. Like, is he dead? Why do I need to read that? I'm not dead, and I talked.
Yep.
So.
But do you play fighting games though?
Oh, I thought you said I misread that. I thought it said don't play fighting games. I was like, that's weird. I don't play fighting games anymore. I used to play Smash all the time. I played Smash with a bunch of people that were like semi-pro. Some of them did some like competitive play. They did competitive play, but weren't like actual pro players. And they kick my ass all the time. So that's my level of Smash Brothers. Once or twice a year, I play with very, very good players, and I refuse to practice. So
Yeah, I only ever played Smash with friends, but I played Soul Calibur 2 quite a bit.
yeah, Soul Calibur was great. I think I played. What was the last one I played? I played the one for the GameCube. And I think there was one on the PS3. That might be the last one I played. Do you go an art style you don't like? JoJo. JoJo Attack on Titan. I hate them. It's like the over sensationalized, kind of grotesque, I think I want to say. Like grotesque emotes.
Yeah.
The line styling is fine for most of it, but like, I'm just not a fan of those. Which sucks
Not a
because
fan
I-
of high art.
she's not a fan of fire, yeah. A lot of people, like when I started drawing, because I was doing very, very, very black, very thick line art. Lots of people
Yeah,
compared
but-
my stuff to JoJo, and I was just kind of like, ugh, fine.
Didn't you also get Berserk or Guts?
A little bit, yeah. They do a lot more grungy things, like very dirty line sketches, which I love. I love that, but I'm just not very good at it. But I did kind of emulate that style just by doing. What I used to do is when I drew something, I would not do a second layer. I would just erase through it, and that would create kind of this kind of chunky line style, which I really liked, and I still like it from time to time. But for like my commission work, it's a lot more legible to not do that. So you can see that in some of my old work, like the Minotaur and stuff,
Yeah.
where I use the eraser almost. It's like I did multiple layers, but like my line art layer was one layer through all iterations of it, and I changed that. I don't do that anymore. I kind of go for a little more pop arty now. But in my sketches, you can still see that. Like, this is good, and I like this, and that's kind of the same thing that's going on right now. But if I was going to continue this, I would. I'd do a new line layer and try to replicate it. Yeah, I like this. I like the stylization of JoJo. We talked about this the other day, too, like with the face things. I'm not into it. JoJo, like, does it with kind of, like, the oversaturation of the face, like, not saturation, over exaggeration of facial poses. Like Baki is like just too many muscles, like purposefully too many muscles.
Yeah.
And then Attack on Titan is almost, they try to they try to make the faces emotive with no emotion, and it drives me crazy. like they just try to make it so like, how do you make somebody look more sad? Just devoid them of life. And it's like, I don't like this. I don't like what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
Attack on Titan, like in that regard, Attack on Titan feels like the ultimate expression of anime
yeah,
to me, in terms of an art style.
it's
Because it's so flat, it's so simplified, and so uniform, and then just exactly like you said, like they try to infer so much emotion with it, and it just becomes absurd.
yeah, and not to say that these are bad, right? Like, these are all great animes. And
No, yeah.
Corvus and I had a huge conversation about me hating on One Piece. And like, I think Corvus, you brought me around to it. Like, One Piece is.
Did I?
I think so. Yeah. Like, the more we talked about it, like, you showed me enough examples. I think a great way to describe One Piece is anime trying to do Bugs Bunny, and it's like, holy shit. When you think of it like that, yeah, I get it. I still don't like it. I hate it a lot, but like, I totally get that art style now. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Also, like, all I will say is it's been going on for 20 years, and his art style has been changing like every other year. That's
Right.
just kind of the natural progression.
So
Same with like the JoJo
That's-
artist.
That's
It's
pretty
been going
normal
on for a long time.
That's really normal for mangaka, though, right?
Like,
Because,
yeah.
So part of my issue with One Piece is the inconsistency of it, and I think you're right. That's part of it. That's very much part of it. Like, what it looks like originally and what it looks like now is different, and part of it's like, either is this character arc, or is this just like different people drawing it, or what? But like, there's a lot of things that are chosen here that I hate that continue, even though they like, the art is better, like objectively better. They still chose these things early on that are still in the upper things that I hate, and so it's like, it's not my favorite style of art. It's not something I enjoy looking at, and I never got into it because of it. But like, it's the same thing with Attack on Titan. Like, there are some very cool things in Attack on Titan. Like, I really like the costume design and like the weapon design for the razor blades. The razor blades are the stupidest thing I think I've ever, like, it's 100%. Someone was like, had an action figure with a razor blade, and they were like, what if they had to kill people? It's like, that's a cool idea.
And then they slapped a bike handle with a brake.
Right, exactly. And it's just like, the fuck is going on here? Like, no. So once again, like, I love the muscular designs too, and then like, you look at the things in the later seasons that's just like, what if giant fish skeleton? It's like, this isn't as cool to me. This is weird. Why are we fighting a giant Sasquatch? I'm confused. So like,
Racism.
Racism? Is that really? Did I just accidentally racism myself?
No. That's kind of the point of the show, is of Attack on Titan. Like, it's like, oh, all the times where the race of people that got oppressed and imprisoned in walls. Spoilers. It doesn't matter.
I mean, they're Nazis. The main characters are Nazis.
Yeah,
like 100%. That's why their outfits look so cool, because fascists have cool uniforms. It's the way life is. They wrote a song about it.
They also have shit architectural design, so it's not a 1-to-1 trade-off.
What if we build a wall out of people? It's like, or we could use good things. Like, what if we did that? So, yeah.
Stone? What about stone? How about why not stone? We could use steel.
Another thing is,
All right,
the guy who's writing it kind of just lost his own plot.
Oh, 100%. That is that is my biggest complaint about Attack on Titan.
And it was only saved literally by the animation studio. Like, they literally changed the ending because it's like, no one liked it.
Somebody else read the script and went, "This sucks, bro," and then they like let a real writer do it. That was mean. But like, I got like into season 3 and I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But it's really funny because I have a lot of friends that don't watch anime that are like, "Have you seen Attack on Titan? It's really good." And I was like, weird. Like, okay.
Anime Attack on Titan is now very much the like introduction anime for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Like for us, it would have been like things like Naruto or
Mhm.
Bleach, or if you're a bit older, like Sailor Moon or Inuyasha.
Ugh.
Like that would be in the like introduction anime for us at a younger time, and now it's Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan. I don't know what else.
One Piece. I think people like with Netflix, like One Piece is getting a lot of
Oh yeah,
my friends that don't
Yeah,
watch anime.
yeah.
They're like, oh, did you know this existed? I'm like, it's been around for so long. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's cool. It is cool. Like I'm glad those things exist, even though they're not my favorite things. Elliot, welcome in. What is the blue like? Is it Wurple? What is this thing called?
Swallow.
Wobble? Swabble. Why is Swabble called Swabble? It's a water chameleon. Shouldn't it be like Wamelion?
Are you talking about the Pokemon?
I am. Hit me.
I
no idea?
do not know.
I think it's because it's like supposed to be like a play on word of sobbing, because it cries a lot.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's a reference to theater, right? So it's a drama baby.
Oh, is it?
It's the drama kid Pokemon.
Somebody gave one of these to the boy, and he is currently trying to eat it. Just trying to destroy it with his mouth. And it's really funny to watch.
It's less a chameleon, more of like a basilisk lizard,
Okay.
which are the ones that can run on water.
Then it should be called a wizard. That's all I'm saying. There are people who only anime Speed Racer.
Nothing wrong with that. I like Speed Racer better than many. If we're talking, if we're still mentioning art styles we don't like, Inuyasha and Sailor Moon were like
Just too simple.
I hated them so much that I refused to watch anime for more than 10 years.
Wow.
Is it the bad hair?
That's part of it.
Tuxedo
It's
Mask makes me
also-
angry.
I'm pretty sure Tuxedo Mask is supposed to make you angry. Tuxedo
am a
Mask
villain.
is like
It's like, did you just buy that costume from the shop down the street? Like, what's happening? Like, that's not a superhero costume. Like, what? Get the fuck out of here.
Tuxedo Mask is the comedic embodiment of misogyny.
All right, that's fair.
So,
And yet the main character was obsessed with him. So what's going on there?
well,
Please, this
I
is
don't know.
legit. Please explain Sailor
I don't
Moon.
know. I don't know. I still have never watched it. I only know what I've like gleaned from popular media references.
4.
What are we talking about right now? Sorry, kind of got lost.
We're just talking about anime that we like and hate, I guess.
Yeah.
So this is a funny story. I used to have a huge beef with Speed Racer because I didn't really watch it a lot. Like, I get that the movie was kind of my introduction to Speed Racer again, beyond like memes, and I hate the kid and the monkey so much that I don't want to watch the show.
Part of that is also it was dubbed
Yes.
and translated way before anybody knew how to dub.
So that's what I was getting at. So like, but on that same note, like I went back and tried to watch the original Transformers series, which I remember being amazing as a kid. It is hot garbage and hard to watch.
Oh, it's
like
it sucks. It's so bad.
So I think there is something about like older animes just kind of being a product of the time when you watch them. Like that, like anything that you watched when you were younger is probably going to be more enjoyable than it is like respectively.
Yeah.
Bulbapedia entry for Sobble. When scared, this Pokemon cries. Your tears pack a chemical punch of 100 onions. Okay. Got it.
Also, I found that its Japanese name is a play on words to sob and chameleon.
Okay, good.
So,
That makes sense then. What's up, tiny man?
yep.
Oh, you standing up?
But also, on your tuxedo masking, I think he's just there to be eye candy for the girls, because he doesn't do anything. He just stands there, it's like, haha, look how pretty I am, and then flies away.
Okay. So he is useless, like, just regardless.
Yeah, he's thematically useless.
Got
He's
it.
just there for Serena to,
Falling over?
yeah.
We know the cousins, quote unquote, wouldn't have fallen over him, so pretty much has to be Serena.
Yep, oh god, the cousins. That are not cousins at
Poor America.
all. Yep.
What happened?
Yeah, I recently tried rewatching Zatch Bell in dub, and I'm just like, I hate this kid. I want to swing him like a steel chair off a cliff. He's so annoying. If anyone remembers that anime.
I don't think I ever watched that one, but it's another one that I hear a lot of references to. That one I'm super not clear about what it is.
About a competition between demons to become king of the Momoto.
I was watching an anime with no subtitles on, only in Japanese. I muted it, talked over it with characters. Nice. That's fun. That's fun to do. I've done that before. I accidentally, the first time I ever watched Kill Bill, I watched it on a PlayStation, and somebody bumped the controller, and it was in Japanese, and we didn't realize that wasn't the right thing. So I watched all of the Kill Bill series in Japanese, thinking that it was just dubbed that way.
Awesome.
It was pretty good still. Speed Racer gives us a redub. I think Speed Racer is a good... I mean, it's essentially it's a racing anime, right? Like, those still exist. Yeah. Those still exist. So, like, you don't need to remake it. But I think Speed Racer is a good concept, and is just... The things I hate about it are products of the time it was made, right? Like, having to do the catchphrase, having to have the character foil, like, annoying character kids. Like, those are in a lot of animes, and I hate them in all of the animes I watch.
Yeah, having to have the animal sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
The monkey. That is my least favorite.
Yeah, I feel like that was less a trope that was native in Japan and more or less a trope they adapted from America because, like, look at all the different mascot cartoons. We have Scooby-Doo and, like, Speed Buggy, Josie and the Pussycats.
I just watched, what was it? The Mystery Incorporated? Scooby-Doo? Which I thought was pretty good.
The
cartoon.
Okay,
Mystery Inc.
Yeah, Mystery Inc. I think it was pretty good. But they did a whole riff off of that, of like they got to meet other groups of teens with animal companions from different shows, and it was like, yeah, that's funny.
Previous one was an evil parrot.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Sorry. It's like a 10-year-old show now, so maybe not that old, but
You wanna click for the camera? Go ahead. Can you do it? No? Performance anxiety?
same kid, same.
Yeah. He's learned how to screech, and he's learned how to do that. And click his tongue. So all he does now when we stop paying attention to him is just... Can you do it? You gonna eat the dead cat? Good job. Yeah.
Also, Drew, I just realized you're drawing the Marlboro Man.
Pretty much.
Joe Camel.
It's also kind of pretty much what I was asked to draw, so...
Yep. What was I drawing? I'm sorry, I got distracted. A really buff mind flayer. No need to ensnare his victims with magic. He just puts them in a headlock.
Nice.
With his own face.
See if I can draw one-handed, kid. He really wants to eat that microphone. Is that the high elf void elementalist? It was, yeah. So that's the void elementalist.
I now have Druid here as a unwilling participant in this discussion because I had to bring it up because it's the weirdest thing I found out about Utah.
Yep.
Pioneer days.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
The hell, Utah.
I participated
The
in
hell.
Pioneer Days.
The hell.
I
don't think it's
I-
specifically. Go
I
ahead.
think Corvus is specifically talking about the Bonneville Trail experience. So I don't know if you participated in that, but it's a thing where they reenact. They have youths like ages 12 to 17 reenact part of the Mormon Pioneer Trail, like get dressed up in period costumes and get hand carts, and they get to walk in July heat through a part of the mountains, and they're like, for part of it they're only allowed to eat like or depending on exactly how accurate the reenactment is, you're allowed to eat 2 saltine crackers and have half a bottle of water.
Wow. Okay. I was going to talk about something way more racist if you guys want.
Oh no, this is incredibly racist.
Okay. So, I think I used to do that when I was like elementary school, like very, very young elementary school. I
Yep.
remember going to Lewis and Clark Elementary. It was a school nearby, and they would host this thing, but everyone would dress up in Native American costumes or
Rendezvous is not the same.
no.
Or Pilgrim.
What?
Rendezvous.
I'll look that
is
up. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
not- Is what you're talking about.
Okay. Let me do my research real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, I see. We don't have this on the East Coast, back in the East here, because that's just such a weird thing to like do. We have like living history museum stuff, where it's like an old fort and that's it.
I'm gonna call bullshit on you right now, because I have seen Civil War reenactors from the South, and
Not
boy,
in where I
howdy,
live.
it is
I will say not where I live.
maybe not directly where you live, but everywhere else in the South, right? So just because you never experienced it specifically does not mean that you are not part of a culture of Americans that do this nonsense, right? This is not a Mormon unique phenomenon, and it's all racist.
Fair. I will say though, we don't have high school students go out and pretend and reenact
It's an Idaho.
Oregon Trail
Okay.
in
So
RL.
Jump Rope
Yep.
Jump Rope and I had to have a discussion, but we figured
Okay.
it out. So Jump Rope this is called Rendezvous, is that what it was? Sure. You're not on the chat, so you wouldn't be able to hear him anyways. YouTube wouldn't be able to hear you.
It was called Rendezvous.
Okay,
It
so
was something that our school district specifically did, because when
Okay.
we did Idaho history in 3rd or 4th grade, Idaho was originally developed, colonized. I don't know what word you want to do. It was fur trappers.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it was like Idaho history before Idaho was a state. And
Railroad.
it was a bunch of Native American stuff and like fur trapper activities.
Yeah. I remember when we went there, they gave me like a string with beads on it, and they're like, you can use these to do some of the events. And so you had to like trade people little beads and stuff. And there were
So my class.
I remember doing a lot of panning for gold.
I
That's what
remember
I
panning
did.
for gold, and I remember that every class, there were 3 classes of my grade in my school, and we each made a different craft to sell to quote unquote sell at the Rendezvous. And I think every class had a craft that they were making, and you could use your beads to buy stuff and take it home.
I've been
And
more
then,
interested in that.
halfway through the day, or like at certain periods, we would go back to our class's stall, and our teacher would divide up the beads that we had gathered from selling our craft and send us back out.
I went to the poor kid school, so
It was-
I only did this once, and
only
we didn't
did
do
it once.
anything. We never did it. So
I only did it once. It was 1 year.
1 year, all right.
Yeah.
But mine was not this complicated. To me, it was like a small like county fair, but
Yeah, it was
with
like
people
activities
people dressed up like pioneers
and
and headdresses and stuff.
and a craft fair themed as like an Indian and fur trade
Yeah.
from the time.
Sure.
So
Not
Pioneer
what you
field
guys
days.
talking about.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. And Corvus, the thing that I was talking about, nobody was ever forced to do that, and they did they did advise people who are like kids if they had problems like asthma or like health conditions that might preclude them from participating, they would ask them not to participate. So they did actually care about the health of the kids doing it, but it was still, in my opinion, dehydration marketed as a spiritual experience.
That's what elementary school is, though. Like,
Yeah, but like and like I like Corvus having grown up in the 90s.
I'm Zach. Welcome in.
This was Gen X sort of activities, you know, the hose drinker sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's going around the internet lately.
That blows my
Being
mind. Like,
shocked
it's like,
that you weren't allowed in the house.
yeah. Are you a growing YouTuber? I'm a YouTuber. I don't know what you mean by growing. Have I switched to YouTube Shorts because it's more successful? Yes. But I'm just here. I'm here doing stuff. So, welcome in, Zach Attack. If your
Look,
next question is, do I want to buy your SEO empowerment pack? No. So save the link.
If your next question is, does work do commissions? The answer
This
is
is also
yes.
yes. Yeah, I do commissions. We do art. We do dumb stuff here. We have a tiny mascot child
Yep.
yelling at us.
We talk about D&D and often about American politics, despite the fact that it's technically against the rules of the channel.
It's just us three, and we're not screaming at each other,
Sure.
so it's fine. But yeah, I just had to bring it up because I saw it, and I'm just like,
No, yeah, like
it is very
messed
weird
up.
for me.
Yeah, totally fair. I didn't even think about it. It's literally part of the culture in which I grew up.
Yeah, because like
Don't think it happens as much anymore.
with like Civil War reenactors, they're like acting out like a battle, and it's like once a year type of deal, and like no big major battles happen in Kentucky that warrant a lot of reenactors to come here, so it's just like it's not part of the area.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, like what?
Sort of billed as, or I guess the pioneer thing is sort of billed as like experience the hardships, like a small
Of
portion
your-
of the
yeah.
hardships that your ancestors
Of your
had to
ancestors?
do
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get to Utah, and isn't Utah great?
Yeah, that's how I kind of saw it. I was like, it's a bit
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. Look, when you live in Utah, you have to find justification to enjoy it.
To justify the shittiness that you. I'm not saying people didn't try to kill Mormons. That happened, 100%. But they kind of also made some weird decisions.
Yep.
More than
Like funeral
more than
potatoes.
a few.
What's wrong with funeral potatoes?
They're fucking delicious.
Yeah. I
That is
will
the most-
eat and make funeral potatoes all the time. It's great. It's just scalloped potatoes.
I know I might get pushed back on this. But that is like the most Midwestern looking dish I've ever seen in my life. I was like, that's more Midwestern than Milwaukee.
So here's
I
the thing about
mean-
funeral potatoes. There's two ways to look at it. You can make scalloped potatoes, right? Where you slice up the potatoes, you put cheese
Yep.
on top, and you fill it full of like sour cream and shit.
Mhm.
Or the way Mormons make funeral potatoes is you take a box of instant potatoes and you kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
You take
Cream of mushroom soup, cheddar cheese,
Yeah.
a bag of hash browns.
a bag of hash
Bag of hash
browns.
browns,
Exactly.
yeah.
So like ultimately all it is potatoes au gratin, except
Walmart.
you take
Except you buy
except
everything from
Walmart, yeah.
Walmart instead of.
you take tons of shortcuts.
Yeah.
Like all it is shortcut potatoes au gratin, which means that it's French. It's Americanized French cooking, which is no different from anywhere else. And yes, it looks super Midwestern, and certainly qualifies as Midwestern cooking, but like it still comes from a tradition, and it tastes
It's
it tastes
just
good.
salt.
Okay, it's not just salt; it's also
That's all I
cheese
would
and
imagine it
cream
tasting like.
and
It's just salty starch. It's
yeah,
like
salty, cheesy, creamy starch.
I grew up in
Oh,
a big.
I don't understand what you're not getting of this, Corvus.
Not only did I grow up in the Catholic Church, I grew up in a very religious,
Household.
religiously active household. So like, we went to everybody's funeral. We went to all the fish fries. My parents were active in the pancake breakfasts and like the stew that I made for the gun club last month was the recipe that Betty Tully did 35 years ago at the church because it's good. But it very much a lot of church cooking is quick and easy, right? Like that's the lay of the land. But growing up in an old school Catholic church like that, like I got a lot of the old lady recipes for like how funeral potatoes should be. And so when I started meeting Mormon funeral potatoes, I was just like, the fuck is this? And I had to push back to it, but they're still good. It's fine. It's just fast potatoes. So
Yeah,
it's not something that we do in the South. Like, let me preface. In Appalachia, we don't do the whole meals at funerals. At least not in my area, unless you're like really hip deep in like Baptist culture.
I really
Most
wanted
people are
to-
not bringing meals.
Can I make a bad joke? Can I make a bad joke that I don't want to direct at you, but I just want the joke to be on the air because I think
Go
it's
ahead.
funny? So my immediate response was, well, of course not, because everyone's too busy fucking couches. But that was a joke.
That one is-
I wanted to preface that it was a joke.
Yep.
And I still
not
think it's funny.
everybody, just the one guy.
And he's not even from my area. He's from Ohio, so he doesn't count.
That's the joke. So
Ohio, only East Ohio is Appalachian. But yeah, we don't do food at funerals. Like, though, I will preface this: we do probably something that's probably weird for some people. We do cemetery services, where we go to a cemetery, pitch a tent, not euphemism, and like do church on the gravesite, and then eat dinner.
yeah, actually, so my
Sounds very Hispanic.
Yeah, actually, that I was gonna say, like, there are a couple cultures that do that here in America, and my dad works for a funeral home, and he was like, he constantly loses his shit about that because people will just show up and like take over the entire cemetery. It's like you realize you're like standing on people's graves, right? Like at least put it in the parking lot, and people don't want to. They're like, no, like this is what we want to do, and it's like, where do you draw the line between like, this is your culture to do that, and I want you to be able to celebrate that, and then, but what about the people that are buried here?
Yeah.
It's like, ugh. So it's a little, it's a weird.
I definitely see that as a more problem in, like, probably in your area, but where I live,
Oh my.
a lot of families have their own separate cemeteries. And some people will even build their own little shelter at said cemetery to do this.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like that's there's a lot of churches that have their own cemetery, and then that, I think, especially with Catholic churches, like that's really where a lot of this started, right? Like you go to the church, you have the service there, and then the cemetery is next door, and so you go, you do that, and then everyone's here, and so it's less, it's not actually moving. You're just like, you're all in the same spot, but and then now it becomes like, the funeral procession and having to like go across town, and if it's just a funeral home, then like you can't really do that as easily as you could have if it was the same place. So I see all the different sides for it, and it's weird because my dad is very much like, I want these people to be able to do this, but at the same time, like, it doesn't always work.
He also needs them to respect the faith tradition and bodies of the people buried.
Stupid question. How do you only eat funeral potatoes at a funeral? You don't. You eat it all the time.
You don't.
Yeah.
The customs are very different, including interesting Western UG, and then mingle, and then leave. Yeah. Make it once a month.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, Mormon funerals are, I mean, they're a bit more than that. That it's usually, like, you go to the chapel and have, like, there's usually some sort of expression of mourning and a celebration of the person's life, singing hymns and, like, and communal prayer and all of that stuff. And then, like, the meal is usually just a wake, right? Like, it's just continuing the wake, but Mormon churches are built with kitchens and large spaces for the community to gather anyway. So the wake is just usually held at the church instead of at somebody's home.
Yeah, same thing. And then
That's all it really is.
with yeah, I think the wake is kind of really what it is. And so whether or not you have the actual funeral, you then have, like, people have come into town, you have people staying at the house. It's just like no one wants to cook when you're dealing with all that. So it's very much like community just bringing you food. Like that's really where that originated from. And so funeral potatoes were, after the funeral, everyone in town would come by and give you, like, something. And, and it's usually some sort of casserole, right? Yeah,
Like,
something that can be given to in a dish, because, like, you're not going to eat it all that day. It's just like, here you go, you have this.
Something that you can freeze and take out when you need it.
Yeah. Something, it's got to be filling. It's got to be something that kids will eat, because Mormons usually have large families. It's got to be something that's going to produce a lot of leftovers, and it's got to be something relatively cheap, right? So that's
so
it.
when I was younger,
Casserole culture. It's 50s casserole culture that's just made its way all the way into 2024. That's all.
And unfortunately, it is very much like, because it's casserole culture, like, you show up and 15 people have made funeral potatoes, because, like, it's just distilled to that. When I was little, it was very much like fried chicken. It was like whole meals, as well as, like, casseroles and salads and stuff. Like, it was a big deal. It was very much like the community is coming together. We're going to do that. So
it's still like that where I live.
is it?
Yeah. So there's definitely always funeral potatoes, and sometimes people don't, like, communicate with each other, and multiple people bring multiple casserole dishes of funeral potatoes, but you usually also get a bunch of other sides. There's always vegetables. There's somebody who lives in the past usually still brings some sort of lime jello salad with shredded carrot in it, which I wish we would move past that, but, you know, whatever, it is what it is. But
Sorry,
yeah,
Drew, I'm taking up all the space.
it's always something. No, you're good. I'm ready to roll for my next thing. I'm also ready for us to stop talking about my culture, because my former culture. I try not to live in it anymore. Anyway, so we've got. Oh, we're only down to 7. That's fine. I'm not, like, traumatized by it. It's just. It's just not the culture I wish to participate in anymore. As much as I do appreciate that it does produce functioning communities. Or it did before the Orange Man ripped the country in half. Anyway, I rolled 2. A burly barbarian satyr dude, martial arts user, no weapons. Hey, cool, this one is right up my alley.
Uh-oh, we're just going to have nothing but big beefy boys.
Yeah. I mean, the traps you've given this Illithid are bigger than his entire face, the tentacles included.
Did you see, like, the 3 iterations I was going with? Like, I was struggling so hard. I'm like, nope, he's got to be big. He's just,
it just got bigger every time.
Yep. Not big enough.
Oh god, I just saw another post about the guns from the Olympics.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
It is the funniest thing in the world to me that America is losing at gun shooting.
What was it like? I think this year was the first time that someone from Greece won a wrestling medal. or the gold medal for like 500 years or something. It's like,
yeah.
what?
They invented it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
It is. Look, Elton Brown observed that when, in terms of food and probably everything else, as soon as one place, one culture, one people think that they've got a lockdown on something, they get lazy about it,
Oh, yeah.
and they lose the quality and control, and it passes on to the next next group of people who is passionate about the thing. So
Which is,
it doesn't surprise
yeah,
me.
it's very weird though. It's
No, yeah, like
that the countries that won all the gold is just like, at least in the Olympic shooting, is China, South Korea, and Serbia.
South Korea does not
just-
surprise me at all.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, why do we even have the Second Amendment anymore? But yeah.
I have so many bad jokes.
Yeah, I've seen so many bad jokes on the internet.
I know this might be controversial. I love the glasses that that person was using when they were doing the pistol shooting. It's like, it's utterly ridiculous and purely Olympic, but I don't know, something about it's just very cool.
I mean, so yeah, they've been doing that for a long time. Like, especially like the cover up one eye, you have like an eye patch, and then you have something that with a scope for your glasses. It's like, that's weird. I hate the guns because like they're purely functional to the point where they're essentially just like bricks. It's like a brick with a trigger, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on?
Somebody posted something, and I want to know if this is true. Do they shoot BBs or are they live rounds?
They should be live rounds.
I'll Google.
I'll look it up. Yeah, I'll let Corvus look it up.
Since you are doing art.
They should be, if I remember, they used to be like 22s. Like, they were very small caliber, very specific rounds. But
So
the guns have like baffling and.
Still, no excuse. No excuse for America, the most gun-obsessed country on the planet, to fail with any kind of gun, especially if they knew what kind of gun they were shooting.
Oh, they do have air pistols. Okay, sorry.
yeah, I was getting ready to say yeah, it's a 10-meter air rifle and a air pistol. What they use.
Oh, so it is a BB gun.
And they use special pellets. Round ones, but like one that almost mimics.
Weird.
Live rounds, yeah.
Well, that's why we're losing.
Because they won't let us have our fucking live rounds.
It's all about that cordite, my friends.
Nobody cares about a BB gun. Give our guys the semi-automatic rifles.
That being said, pellets and slingshots, super fun. Super fun.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I'm mostly joking. Look, as much as I don't enjoy guns, I've said multiple times, I vastly prefer a bow and arrow. I do enjoy slingshots. I enjoy slings. Slings are very satisfying to me. And
Probably one of the most dangerous things there.
Oh, absolutely! Like way more dangerous than a firearm, but so much fun. The reason I don't like guns is not necessarily because they're super dangerous. No, but and then yeah, airsoft. Airsoft is pretty fun.
I have so much knowledge in my head of like legal things that are fun that I did when I was a kid, but if I put them on YouTube, I would be removed from YouTube in this genre of like slingshots and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of really like stupid dangerous things that are much more dangerous than a lot of the things we regulate. I thought it was shooting with Jonas's country specifically. They don't shoot well. I don't know what you're talking about there, Elliot. I'm a little confused. Sorry.
With
Squidman is ripped. Yeah, he's really ripped. Go ahead, Corvus. Sorry.
Air pistols in 1970, 1988. Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Air pistols, 1970, 88. What's that? We missed the first part of what you were saying. We might have lost him completely.
Damn it. Comcast. Get your shit together.
What you doing, kid?
You have got...
The kid has taken to chewing on a thumb and screaming. I'm so sorry, Corvus. Will you type what you're trying to say to us? I heard the clicks. We might have him back.
The air pistol event was introduced on the World Championship level in 1970.
Okay. So it is a specific... Air pistol is just a specific thing, and they still do the actual bullets, or no?
Looks like only the air guns. Okay.
Weird. There are some terrifying air pistols out there, like not air rifles out there. Like they get they get scary. There's some ones you can get for hunting, which are interesting because like you have to bring a bicycle pump and like fully pressurize the canisters. Like it's a lot because you only get like 3 shots out of the entire canister and just like pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
But they're meant for taking down like coyotes, so like that's scary. That's a lot of oomph.
I may have put a little bit too much goat into this satyr face.
Boom, boom, boom.
And he's got
Boom.
quite the lazy eye. I gotta fix that.
I read that totally wrong. I totally read that Though biathlon still seems to use actual guns. I read that as though Bitcoin still uses actual guns, and I was like, what?
I mean, that sounds accurate.
An ibex satyr. That'd be pretty fun. It is.
Yeah, I draw ibex horns on satyrs a lot.
Ibex horns are great. Bless you. Once again, if anybody would like to sponsor Corvus's new headset, please let me know. Corvus, are you using a 3.5mm jack or a USB? Do the headphones still work? That's the question. USB. Should we look at a microphone or a headset? Headset's probably easier for you.
Yeah, considering he's on a laptop and
Yeah.
doesn't always have privacy from his family, a headset probably is the preferred option. I'm guessing. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Corvus.
Gotta get that stir. This would actually be a fun character to play, I think. Just like a super, super beefy mind flayer.
A brawler mind flayer.
Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna grab you and eat your brain. It's like, what's that? It's like, just slurp it right out. It's like, don't.
Ah, it's a mind flayer. Beware his psychic powers. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yoink.
I don't play with my food. What?
Yoink a body, yeet a corpse.
Biathlon rifles. Yeah, those are. I think those are 22s. Might not be. It's just there's just so much shenanigans to it.
Yeah.
That, I mean, the reason they're that way is because they are doing something so specific. Like, the whole purpose of like a really good military rifle is that it's versatile, right? Like you're not doing one single thing with it. But those guys, like, they have it down to, this is exactly how you stand, this is exactly how far away you're going to be, this is exactly what you're going to be looking at. And like the biathletes, I think, still have a little bit of that flexibility because they have to pack it, so it needs to be light. Like, there's a whole bunch of weird stuff, but it's interesting to see like Olympic sports evolve over time, because that's essentially what's happening. Like, people are just like refining and fine tuning things.
Yeah, and it increasingly becomes less about the utility of the original activity and more about how you can get the leg up on any competition.
Yeah, kind of like the caber tosses and stuff. It's like that's just purely a sport. Like, it's just like, yeah, we're just throwing it along. It's like, nice, I like it. Shot put is like the epitome of that. Like,
yeah.
Shot put was something that was invented as a sport and just slowly became its own thing, which is great.
Yeah.
Versus shooting, which is like hunting. How do you sporterize? Make sporty a thing that already existed. So.
Yeah. Hurling is the one that continues to baffle me.
Yeah. That one's funny.
Curling is hilarious. Curling is probably the most entertaining Winter Olympic sport to watch, in my opinion. The one I enjoy the most.
Has cornhole become an Olympic sport yet?
I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised.
When I was working at the pub,
it's really hard to keep track of them all.
Yeah, when I was working at the pub, like, there are ESPN channels that like basically only show cornhole, and it's just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. So
I did not know that. That's wild.
Like, there has been times in my life when I've argued, like, if you can play the sport drunk, it's not a sport. Apparently, I'm wrong. Apparently, I don't get to make those decisions. So, who knows? Who knows? It's 1 o'clock almost. How far? How fast? How strong? Many points. I might just call it here, and go work on the video. If I do one more, I think we can finish them all on Friday. So I'm gonna do one more.
Okay.
An earth genasi made of either precious metals or precious minerals. It's not metals. It says metals. Precious metals. I don't know if that was on purpose.
Well, an Earth Genasi, I don't think you could have an Earth Genasi made out of Olympic gold medals. So, I don't know. I could be wrong, but in my mind, that's a golem.
Yeah. I feel like I just need to draw the Silver Surfer.
That sounds like fun. You know, I haven't tried to draw the Silver Surfer since I learned how to shorthand metal.
Right. It's kind of a fun, like, the way Marvel shades metals is really neat because it's very high contrasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Ba-ba-boo, ba-boo, ba-boo.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Stupid headset. But to answer your question earlier, biathlon rifles do use 22s.
Okay.
Rounds.
Dun, 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 dun.
Biathlon is like the most Norwegian sport there is because it's how it started out.
Right? Like, I love that concept. I don't want to watch it.
Skiing and shooting.
Yeah. Just like, can you do stuff?
When the Olympics were in Salt Lake in, what was it, 2007? The biathlon was the only thing that I could get tickets to. And it was so boring, and it was so cold, and it was not worth it.
Yeah.
Go see. Unfortunately.
I think everybody knows that I'm pretty much just a wet blanket, right? Like, that's just how it is. I have zero interest in ever going to the Olympics, even if it's like next to my house. It's just gonna be like, well, that's gonna be annoying for me. Like, so
Definitely not me. I was literally talking to Druid how I kind of wish they would have a Summer Olympics like in Kentucky or somewhere near here because the jobs that it could probably provide for at least a short period of time.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Well, it would be 4 years of building a stadium that would then never be used again.
Utah, the Salt Lake City got a pretty big boost from it. Our government spent tons of cash in order to get the city ready and in order to decorate everything. Pretty much every single construction company was hiring for 3 years before.
That royally fucked up a bunch of concrete companies.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
It's happening again in like 32, isn't it? In Salt Lake?
Ooh, did they get it again? That seems weird.
Yeah, we're getting it again.
Yeah.
In 2030,
32 or 34?
2030 something.
8? Oh no.
Yeah.
It's a long ways away.
Yeah. And I also was surprised. I was like, we should not be in the running for it again.
Like, that's not
fair. And then I was like, I wonder if they decided that they were going to just go with it because Utah is probably one of the only places in the country that, considering global warming, is going to be able to guarantee that they're going to have snow and all of the venues, because we have so many snow production machines here.
That's true. It's set up. It's reasonably set up well for it. So
Yeah, we can.
Los
Also,
Angeles.
I think the next Summer Olympics are going to be in LA again.
Ugh.
Womp womp.
Yeah, we won't be able to have the Winter Olympics here because it's just
No, yeah, you have no snow and no snow sports.
Yep.
All right, I gotta move on from this face. You gotta actually build this body.
like the closest state that would be able to even possibly host it would be like North Carolina, because they actually have like kind of mountains that you can actually ski on. Hopefully, I'm still coming through.
Yes, you are. Yeah, you are. Sorry,
That's fine.
Well, you
did not respond because I was focusing, trying
Uh,
to figure out what I was gonna do with this arm.
I just asked you if it was USB or plug.
I messaged in the
Oh, did you?
chat. Yes.
USB. Oh, there it
US.
was. Okay.
Yeah, You responded to it, Brooke.
My
I
brain is
heard
not
you
here.
read it.
My brain is not here right now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely this is the last drawing for sure. Then.
I'm looking at headphones and stuff. Like, I'm doing 5 things right now, and I should not be.
Yep.
Because I could just mail you a snowball, because I have an old snowball. But that's
What does that even require?
it's just a USB.
Just
That's it.
USB port.
It's
Oh,
just-
okay.
It's one of these little fuckers. Looks like this.
Yeah. I got one.
They work really well, but they're like, oh, it's cardioid, so like it goes like this. So either it's really, really nice and you have to be right next to it, or it's nothing. Unless you're on this side of the room, in which case it can hear everything. And it's like,
Yes, correct.
what is,
Weird.
what is going on here?
That is very specifically why I did not feel comfortable being on the mic while my family was visiting, and there were lots of children in the background. Because as good as it is at picking up my voice with the mic right here in my face, I know that it would also pick up every single sound of them playing in the yard outside my window.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah. Also, like where my laptop is set up is just like a little tiny fold-up desk, like barely 2 foot across, not even 2 foot across, like maybe 18 feet across.
I don't need to toot PewDiePie's horn. He does that well enough himself. But we started. PewDiePie had a kid and started like blogging about it, and so that's made me start watching PewDiePie content. Like that's the content I watch from PewDiePie, not his other stuff. And he went back to visit his parents, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is where I used to film all my videos." And like, it's a kitchen, right? Like a tiny kitchen. So he's got like a little stove and a sink, and then a tiny little wall alcove desk. And that's it. And it's like, that's where PewDiePie built his empire, is in this tiny, tiny little desk nook in a kitchen. And it's like, hot damn. What am I doing with my life? So,
Well,
And I'm not trying to build an empire.
right.
but you do have to remember, Rook, PewDiePie did not draw. He did not have the desk space needs for a tablet
That's
and
true.
everything that comes with it.
No, I'm not trying to compare myself. I'm just saying, like, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah,
amazing,
yeah.
like, what you can do with little bits of space.
Yeah, true. I am firmly of the opinion that you can do a lot with a little, and if you can learn to do a lot with a little, then you can be successful with whatever with whatever comes your way after
Sure.
that.
Oh.
You just pop something.
Yeah, that was my neck.
Yeah.
That felt
Wow.
really, really good.
I heard that.
that was
That came through.
my neck has been cricked for a little while, and that was much needed.
It was
Like,
Can you guys hear
It sound-
keep you guys snoring?
no, but that neck pop legit sounded like you just like popped your fingers directly, your knuckles directly into the microphone.
yeah.
It's a sound
It's like-
frequency that microphones like.
Some.
Nope, didn't get that.
Hello?
There you go.
Hello?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was trying to finish with your thought, Corvus. I have a thing I need you to
Yeah.
do.
No, I all I said was surprisingly to your comment that
Oh, okay.
a frequency that Mike's like, and I said surprisingly.
All I heard was
That's all I said.
I need you to steal somebody else's microphone and plug it in and see if it's your USB port or your headset. Are there any other
Okay.
microphones in the house?
I don't think so.
Are
but
there any
hang
other
on.
USB ports on your computer?
Oh yeah, I have several.
Okay, swap it. We'll do that test first.
Okay.
'Cause-
I'll be Xing to call it.
Okay. How am I supposed to make this guy look like he's made out of precious metals? That's the question.
That I don't know.
I could give him like jewel eyes because that's what they do in the books all the time. But I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
that because it looks stupid.
Agreed.
But I like the idea that he's just like kind of a nobleman wearing these like big fancy robes. It's like if you're made out of metal, you can just shave your hair and sell it and be rich.
Yep. Especially if it's precious metals. I grow pure copper out of my skull.
I want to say something like, "Bitch, I piss diamonds." What does that mean? Nobody knows what that means. Bow, bow, bow.
Hello?
So
Hello.
far, so good. Talk a little bit and then jiggle your cable or something.
Okay.
No, that already sounded terrible.
Yeah. It legitimately, I think it is the little mic arm.
Talk a little
My
bit and then
headset.
jiggle that.
Okay.
Did you only?
talk-
Oh, okay. No, okay, that cut out.
Because I was gonna say it suddenly sounded a lot clearer for a hot second there.
For a hot second, and then immediately died.
How about now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay.
If you're talking now, it's not working.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. All right, chat. I need to make this guy made out of metal. Maybe no eyebrows.
I have given this satyr the roughly the same body as the bodybuilder I've been following on YouTube recently. I'm trying to get myself motivated to start lifting again. And apparently it's all coming through in my drawing. Cool.
That's good.
You know why you're finding that bodybuilder.
I mean, he is hot.
That's 9/10
He's
of
also
the internet.
straight. Yep.
Even stones.
Also, Drew, they gave Grippleys a swim speed.
Yay!
That's interesting.
Well, as a heritage, like
I was gonna say
They're
Grippleys shouldn't have swim
Riverside
speed.
trip keys.
Grippleys are dart frogs. They live on trees.
Not anymore. They're now just frog people.
Hashtag not my frog people.
Have you?
You literally complained that you didn't like how specifically dart frogs that
You're right.
Gripply were the other day.
No,
So
it's totally fine.
make up your mind.
Well, no. My argument is that you're right. I did. My argument is not that the Gripply are not. Actually, no. Maybe my argument is that Gripplies are a very specific frog people. Like there should be lots of different types of frog people, and so I'm totally cool with that they have that. But it's weird that they're giving it to Gripply and not just like Gripply should be a specific type of frog person, which is kind of the end all be all issue with making the races the way they do.
Yeah.
Which is why I like the heritage system. I think the heritage system is great.
Yeah.
But really, it should be like the Gripply heritage, and here are the options, or a frog heritage, like you're picking a body plan and then picking the type of thing. Because it's the same problem with like gnolls being dogs, or just making a dog folk and then choosing the kind of thing you want, or dragon folks, lizard folk, kobold folk. It's like they're all essentially the same, but you're talking about a very specific thing. Same thing with the tieflings. It's just like outsiders versus a tiefling, which are one is both, but not all are the same. I don't know how to say it anymore. Not all frog folk are Gripply, but all Gripply are frog folk. So
Yeah. Though we'll also say they only have ever had one frog group, and that was Gripply.
that was the Gripply.
Yeah. Pathfinder.
In Pathfinder. Yeah, but the D&D have like the grung and
Yep.
stuff. And so I've had to talk about them separately because they're separate. I think that's what caused that conversation we had, because the grung are more toads and bullfrogs than the Grippleys, which are specifically dart frogs. And so like as a grung, you could definitely pick a dart frog as your thing, and then you should get the poison stuff. But
Which they do.
and then but the Gripply themselves, like there's not like a toad folk in Pathfinder. It's just the poison dart frogs. So
And well, I would argue that they're less toad, or not toad, but poison dart frog, and more or less just generic tree frog that can also be poisonous.
Okay.
Because
Yeah. Because
A lot
dart
of
frogs
the-
also don't have the long tongue thing, but that's always been a thing that's part of the Grippleys.
that's fair.
yeah. And so now they have, which they're now called trip keys because Gripply was also used in
In
3.5.
earlier D&D. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that
and also 5th edition.
sure.
But they weren't ever like a player race or ancestry. So they're now called trip keys, and they have all the original heritage, like lineages that they had. So you got like one that represents the type of tree frogs that had the weird glidey membranes that can just jump and float down.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Do they have the meh?
No. Wait. Well, hang on. There are croaking feats.
Meh.
So yes, I'm
So
really
yes,
glad
just not
that
as
I
a specific heritage.
I'm really glad that I understood what you meant by do they have the
Yes, the rain frog. So the two new ones are called the Riverside Trip Keys, which get a 15-foot movement speed. Which I feel like that's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Frogs,
yeah for swim?
frogs
yeah.
are not super speedy swimmers.
No, yeah, they
Oh, I mean, they can. Well, they're quick. They're very
Quick, yes, but not like a fish.
Yeah. Snakes
It's
can
quick.
easily catch them. Fish can easily catch them.
because frogs are designed to jump more than they're designed to swim. They breaststroke through the water, right? Which
Right.
means that
Yeah.
that they kind of move in spurts.
And the other one is referred to as the thick skin trip key,
So that's like a toad.
which is a bit more toad-like.
Gotcha.
Cool.
So you have like thick leathery skin of a toad, and you start with 8 hit points instead of the default 6, and gain a +1 circumstance bonus on diseases and poisons.
That's
So-
cool.
Does that have any heritage feats where they, like the frog that breaks its own finger bones and pushes them through its skin to make claws?
I can't say anything because they have not updated the ancestry feats yet. They only have the heritages up right now.
Okay, well,
So-
fair.
Because it technically wasn't even supposed to be released today. It's supposed to be released tomorrow.
I see.
So I apparently caught him in the middle of changing demi-plane.
Watch me get sued by the company now.
You're releasing stuff. You're releasing stuff we released on the internet. That's not fair.
I don't know why I gave him that accent.
Yeah, I was gonna say they would have your accent, if anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I don't know. It was the same dude I'm thinking of. He might have a Texas accent because I think he was from Texas.
In any event, at least you probably don't have to worry about Paizo calling the Pinkertons on you.
Yeah.
You say this and it's just like,
Give me back
Open
my
the
squirrel
door.
dick.
did they get rid of their... Oh, no, never mind.
Do 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 do.
I really don't want to draw this hand.
Just smudge it. Give a vague shape of a hand.
I don't know if I drew any of the hands on my beefy guy. I think I just drew the forearms and then called it a day. Let me look.
That's about right.
I don't think I did. Nope. I didn't draw either hand. Just put them below the waist. No one knows. No one will know.
No one will know.
How are they gonna know?
They're gonna know.
No one's gonna know.
I'm so flabbergasted by that meme because I have no idea what it's from.
I think it's from some reality show, isn't it? Like
I
Big
don't
Brother or something. It's old.
It's,
Very old.
I mean, it's funny and its application is always usually wildly appropriate to whatever it's getting slapped on, but I'm still like, what is this from? Love it, and I'm just so disturbed.
Apparently, it was just a TikTok of somebody making fun of reality shows.
Oh,
So they made a 25-second clip of themselves talking to themselves, and then put it to the reality show sound and like did the cuts. Very clever. It worked. It worked perfectly.
Cool.
I totally thought it was from a reality show. Turns out, done been tricked.
Just like them flat earthers. The internet is a treacherous place.
Amphibia was a good series. Weird ass creepy frog people.
What?
Jumper put a GIF in the chat.
Oh,
Amphibia was a.
never seen them before.
We're talking about frog versus toad people.
They're the same.
I mean, they're not.
One just lives on land.
They're similar, but they're not the same.
Difference between house cats and lion folk, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it here. I got nothing left.
Sounds good. Fantastic. You saved me from having to draw any more of this hand. I say as I continue to render the fingers
Yeah.
like an idiot.
You're insane, and I love it. Good series. Good series about trauma, because all Disney cartoons are about trauma these days. Because 10 years ago, the world sucked. All right. And everybody grew up with trauma. That's all I got today, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah. I don't know what else is going on here. Let me take a look. See if anybody's around for a redirect. Usually isn't. Dum bum beep beep bum bum beep beep beep. Rule for combat is around. I don't like rating them for some reason. Last time I rated them, they were talking about politics. I was like, no, thank you. I'm good. So, thanks again, everybody. Stay happy, stay healthy. Keep your dice on the table. We'll catch y'all next time. Keep your eyes peeled for the new video. I want to see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.